Cool Stream in Tucson. Today I'm going to show you how to change out the clutch bearing on a Denso 10P series compressor. This particular one is a 10PA17 off a Chrysler minivan, but pretty much the procedure is going to be the same on all of them, whether it's an Acura, a Dodge minivan, or a Toyota Land Cruiser. First thing you're going to start with is removing the front hub. That's done by taking this bolt out of the center, which is usually a 10mm bolt. It helps to use an impact gun so that you don't have to try and hold the hub in place while you're removing the screw. Next, you're going to pull the hub out. It should just slide right out. Now, the important thing here is to notice that there are shims. Sometimes they'll stick onto the end of the hub, sometimes they'll be on the end of the shaft, but it's important that you keep those shims and don't lose them, because they're what ensure the proper air gap between the facings. Once you've gotten the hub off the front, the pulley's held on by a snap ring. So the next order of business will be to remove that snap ring. Just remove that snap ring. Once you've done that, then the pulley, with a little persuasion, will usually just slide right off and expose the bearing on the back side. It's a good time to check the coil, just make sure it's not burned or melted or anything like that while you've got it apart. Okay, so once you've got the pulley off, you can see the bearing on the back side here. A lot of times if it's bad, you'll be able to feel it as you spin the inner race. One thing you'll notice is that on the bearings, they're usually peened into place. The metal's basically just expanded over the edge of the bearing in multiple spots around it. What you'll need to do is use a grinder to grind those little pings off and allow you to press the bearing in and out. I'm not going to do that for the sake of brevity here, but once you've done that, then you can press the old bearing out, press the new bearing in, and then I would also repeen it in different areas. Just use a punch and a hammer to hold that bearing and make sure that it can't move. Okay, so once you've got the new bearing installed, this goes back on the shaft. Give it a spin, make sure that there's nothing binding or anything. Take your snap ring, reinstall it. Make sure that it snaps down into the groove all the way around. Okay. Then, the way I like to reinstall the hub is to put the shims down inside, put the bolt into it, and make sure that the shims ride down over the bolt. Once you've done that, assuming you have the compressor off the car, it's pretty easy to invert the compressor and slide the hub into place. That way you know that the shims are where they're supposed to be. If it's on the vehicle, you got to be a little more careful if you don't have a way to do that. But the bolt will help hold those shims in place. Then it's just a matter of putting the bolt back in. It needs to be nice and snug, but you don't have to overdo it. And give it a spin, make sure that the pulley moves, that there's nothing sticking or binding, and you're good to go. Hopefully that'll show you what you need to know to change out the bearing on a Denso 10P series compressor. Thanks.